All right, we'll get to this in a sec. Those fireworks, by the way, are not the big ones that people are setting off. Utah law permits aerial fireworks up to 150 feet and they explode, and none of what you saw there was that. Keep that in mind. If you're in northern Utah on the 4th, just look up. Beginning around 9 a.m. on the 4th, airmen from the 419th Fighter Wing out of Hill Air Force Base will be flying a four-ship of F-35s over local towns and cities as part of their 37th Independence Day flyover. Salt Lake to Vernal, Lewiston, Huntsville, Park City, and more. I spoke with Major Justin Newman, USU Aggie grad, call sign Slider, who's part of this special formation.
About 11 years total. I joined military in 2014 and then went straight to pilot training. So I've been in and out of the cockpit since 2014, and between F-16s, F-35Bs, F-35As, all that good stuff. I joined the Air Force active duty, so I did not join the reserves from the beginning. I joined it active duty, and when I commissioned, went straight to, I've been Oklahoma, Mississippi, South Korea, Florida, Beaufort, South Carolina, down to Yuma, Arizona, to Tucson, to Hill Air Force Base. I did one stint at Hill as an active duty. And then I went back to Phoenix for 3 years. That was my last assignment. And then I just got here at the beginning of May when I transferred from active duty to the reserves.
Now, are you from Utah originally?
So I was born and raised in Idaho most of my life, but the southeast Idaho, and then went to school Utah State. And that's what I kind of call home now, though. Like, when I moved to Utah State, I fell in love with Utah, so it's awesome to be back. The typically training that we do is more combat focused, right? So we're gonna go out and we're gonna do different scenarios depending on what kind of training we're trying to accomplish, whether it's an air-to-air or an air-to-surface sortie. And so that's what we primarily focus on when we go out to the Utah Chest and Training Range and everything else when you see us depart. For flyovers, it's a little less because we're doing this as kind of a thank you to the community, right? We've been doing this for a long time, and it's a really cool opportunity for us to kind of say thanks to the community. We know we make a lot of noise. We know it can be a little annoying sometimes at the late nights, and this is just our way to be able to give a thank you back to everyone around in Utah and for all the support they've given us. It also is a chance for us to practice some good training that we get as far as timing, formation flying, some navigational experience that we all get from all of that. So while, you know, it's not as tactical per se, we're still getting a lot of great flight and aviation training throughout all of it. We sat down earlier this week for a few hours and just tried to figure out what is the best way that we can go see. We had 17 flyover requests that we could fulfill. We had many more requests, but they were either times that didn't make sense, or not that they didn't make sense, just times that we couldn't make work based off of the fly window that was available to us. And then, so we tried to align those with either parades or outdoor parties and stuff like that. So it's a really difficult challenge. That was kind of fun to sit down and figure out that puzzle. So we start at Hill, and then you can see based off the routing, we're kind of starting on the north. We fly all the way to the south end of the valley for a minute, then we're back to the north end of the valley, and then we're out to Vernal and up to Lewiston, and then back down into the main valley, and then over to Park City. So we're all over the place. And the entire intent of that is to try and give many people the opportunity to see. We'll be up and down the valley, Salt Lake Valley, probably 2 or 3 times. So they'll get to see us even if it wasn't on purpose. You know, we'll be flying around and they'll get to see that opportunity. We'll be flying 1,000 feet AGL over some of the main shows, and then probably a little bit higher depending on the terrain and everything else there. So to tell everyone there, if you want to have a flyover, there's a specific process that you have to fulfill. I know there's been I kind of saw some comments on some of the posts where they're like, what the heck, man? Why aren't they flying over here? Why aren't they flying over there? And it's like, what I would say is go to the Air Force's PA website and do the flyover request submissions, because it's pretty easy to do. It's a couple pieces of paperwork. It doesn't take very long. And it's not very hard approval process once that's submitted. So if people want us to do those flyovers, continue adding those requests, and we do our darnest to try and make sure that we can see or go to everywhere they want us to go. What I would want to tell everybody is thank you. It's awesome to be part of a community that supports one of the biggest F-35 wings in the world, you know, and we are always busy and we're always flying. We're making a lot of noise during all times of the day and night. And I know that can get frustrating to a lot of people. And just know that we're doing it to keep this guy safe, and being part of the F-35, you know, air domination, it's pretty important, right? So I would just tell everybody, thank you. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for allowing us to do our jobs uninhibited. And I appreciate that.